Haley Strategic was a joint venture between Travis Haley and Echelon, where I doubled as the creative director and development lead at both companies. Picking up where we had left off at Magpul Dynamics, HSP developed both an improved weapons manipulation POI and a new tactical applications program called Disruptive Environments. Focused on applying fundamentals to complex tactical problems, our work on disruptive environments became the foundation of Black Powder Red Earth 8-Bit War. Design team members spent years taking what we learned in disruptive environments to figure out the left and right limits for a new playable experience. We challenged ourselves to create a small unit tactics game that could live alongside the Black Powder Red Earth fiction, offering the same authenticity and unique aesthetic, as well as something that you could play employing actual infantry tactics. We started with a line from FM 321, the U.S. Army's manual for the infantry rifle platoon and squad. One of the defining characteristics of war is chaos. Tactics, techniques, and procedures are the counterweight to this chaos. We built a city system where RNG determines the behaviors of the entire NPC population. When and where they spawn, their directions of travel, even how they respond to the sound of gunfire. In real-world analogs to where our game takes place, gunfire isn't an immediate call for alarm. Shots fired is just another night in the city. Conversely, a jihadist may step out his front door, see your assaulters, and clack off. If your forces are not positioned to mitigate that eventuality, it can be game over. This is a departure from other titles, which are tuned towards facilitating win conditions for the player. They sacrifice realistic choices and hard skills for distraction and spectacle, mostly in the form of tech trees and base building. Design team member created a system that is laser focused on tactical decision making. Our title requires you to develop your own TTPs in order to accomplish the mission. Now, despite being highly trained, your kinetic forces do not have superpowers. All it takes is one shot by an untrained fighter to kill one of your men. Every inch of ground has to be taken and then immediately ceded in the next move, a fundamental difference between 8-Bit War and other cover crawl tactical games. So there are 4 rules of thumb for playing Black Powder Red Earth 8-Bit War. Speed is your security. Never go into a gunfight with only one gun. Don't fight the whole city, and distance favors the marksman. In this way, 8-Bit War is more a survival horror experience versus a traditional tactical game. Even capabilities like the comms jamming in Overwatch are limited and have to be earned by taking risks to exploit enemy infrastructure. Sort of like having to hunt down the save ribbons in the original Resident Evil. Real-world TTPs are simple. Applying them effectively and in-depth to unpredictable situations is an art form. Players need to focus on maneuver, positioning their forces in areas where they can mitigate the effects of enemy activity while not necessarily being able to predict that activity. Every one of these design choices was driven by direct interactions training active U.S. Special Operations Forces. Black Powder Red Earth 8-Bit War is our first attempt to give players a taste of authentic small unit tactics. It's not going to be for everyone, but making games like this is the best part of being an indie creator. Like our graphic novels, we can color outside the lines and try something that's not totally by the numbers. I hope you find this game as challenging to play as we found to make it.